Welcome to another episode of the podcast at Maono Center of Transformation. My name is Melody Wanjiro, sorry for that, and I'm glad because we have another guest still under the triple threat. Remember, for you to continue getting the flow of the conversation, you have to rewatch the previous episodes so that you get the flow of what we are talking about. It's all about the triple threat, and for this segment, we have decided to have the three of them in terms of the organization way, the way they view the triple threat story, and then we have the medical part, and also we have another segment for the youths. So you have to catch the three of them so that you get to connect and get the whole information about it. So without wasting more time, let me welcome the guest of today so that we get to know what we're talking about. Karibu sana, Carole.
Okay, thank you so much, Melody. My name is Carole Mueni from the MOH, Ministry of Health, working at Dandora 2 Health Center, commonly known as 41. Whereby we all deal with the triple threat issues, that is HIV, early pregnancy among the teens, GBV, which is so much rampant in this area of Dandora, the whole fraternity of Dandora, whether it's phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, phase 4. So it has really been a challenge to us, but we are trying to curb now the numbers. Yeah, thank you.
So can you tell us, whenever we are talking about the triple threat, what do we include? What are the components of the triple threat? Yeah, definitely we know, but we wanted to come from a clinical officer. Yeah.
Okay, the components of triple threat, these are the HIV. How do we ensure that HIV is going down among the young girls and the young boys, which whereby we have found that HIV has really risen up the recent past years. This is because, and after our research has been done, we found that the boys or the girls who are born with HIV between the ages of 9 to 24, now they are active in sex. And yet their partners being involved in sex, they have not been well educated to know that they should be tested before being involving themselves into the sex. Then the other place is about the teen pregnancy. About this teen pregnancy, how are we doing it about it? Are we parents shying away from our girls? Are we parents not educating our girls about teen pregnancy? Or you find most parents are too shy to discuss some issue with their girls, which has become a very high thing in our area. Because recently, we find that we had a 13-year-old girl who was pregnant. Then you are like, that is a class 8 girl. Where did she get this pregnancy? But now you know that time you can now crucify Sina, asking her questions. So, but after that, after she gives birth, we take her as a facility. We always, health facility, we'll always take her through and do some psychosocial part, educate her about sex, just to be safe, for not to involve ourselves again in future about sex. So we just tell that, okay, this happened, we are sorry about it. Okay, maybe you never know how to go about it. But at that age, we don't educate on family planning. Because she's too young for family planning. Unless she's so active in sex. Then we'll advise her on what to do, give her psychosocial therapies, and that's all that we deal about when it comes to teen pregnancies. I know others may be also be involved about GBV, because you find maybe because of poverty, and especially now when the economy is so high, you find people, maybe parents are telling them go and go sell some things in the street. Then you find someone is late at night. Then from nowhere they are raped. Then out of the rape, the girl keeps quiet. The fear of who will I tell. If I tell mama, maybe she may start beating me, I may be the blamer, all the fear of the community. So by the time the 72 hours elapses before this girl is given treatment, and out of that, there's fear of pregnancy, there's fear of HIV. So we are trying and see how we are going to sensitize our community and at the same time our girls.
Talking about the young girls, you gave an example of 13 years old, and I believe that a child is one who is below 18 years. So that one we can relate it to the child domestic work. Because the moment the child is sent outside to sell something, so that maybe they can bring something back to the family, and in the whole thing, she gets maybe attacked, and she is raped. At the end of it all, she ends up to the circle of the triple threat. And the circle the cycle continues
Yes.
with no end at all.
Yeah.
So let us go to the community now. Because we have talked about what the facility is doing, but since we have this triple threat thing, how is the community taking this issue, since now it's Embakasi North and we are the one that got hit by this triple threat?
Yes.
As you are working around the community, you mentioned that the Dandora phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, 4 and 5, right?
Yeah.
And also not forgetting Kariobangi North.
Yes.
So how is the community taking you people as the clinical officers in a facility, yet we are talking about increases in HIV/AIDS, increases in GBV, and increases of the early pregnancies?
Okay, when it comes to us working with the community, we have the CHV. Those are the community health volunteers, whereby we work hand in hand. But you find that, okay, their work is to volunteer, but you find that they need, with this economic time, they need to be motivated with something small. But we are trying as much as we can. We go around. Like now, the other day, we had a medical camp at the dumping site, whereby we found that after the report that came up, the young people, that is the young between, let's say between 24 to 18, they said that they can't come there because of the fear. Maybe, okay, for example, when you are being tested HIV, you'll find that mom will see me being tested for HIV. What is she going to think me? Or someone is there, my neighbor will see me being tested for HIV. What are they going to think of about me? So they'll know that now this boy or girl, I'm active in sex. So we said, for them to give them, not to expose them, we create a space at Dandora Youth Center. And that's now we have the youth-friendly center where the young boys comes, where the MSF is our partner, whereby we deal now, and we deal with them, they come, we have free space with them and talk to them. So the involvement of the community, it is very wide when it comes to the CHV. Whenever we call them, they never refuse to come when we want to work with them. So when we're on this part, we are trying to see how we are going to bridge this gap of HIV going high, or the triple threat going high in the involvement of our CHVs, which is working out very well, especially through our CHA and our community strategy from the sub-county. So we work with them and we work with them so well. So we are trying to see how it is going to come down, because it has been a threat to us. Why are these cases raising up each day and time? And every morning, as a facility, we'll always have a health talk about all this. We'll always educate parents who have come there. Those are not the patients who have come to visit the facility. Every morning before we start seeing them, both the NC part, both the outpatient part, we'll always talk to them about all these triple threats. And it involves around that area, because we have seen it has become a menace in the community. Then now we are trying to see, when these cases happen, this is the kangaroo court. How are we going to finish in the community? Because it is very much involving. And that's another, the same time the CHV comes in, tell them no, try, sensitize the community and tell them not to do about the kangaroo court. Because at the end of the day, is the kid who is going to suffer. You are going now, you, the parents, you are going to be given something small, and then you settle. But what about the victim? Has the victim gotten a justice, or is justice? Because we are not talking about the girls alone. Also, the boys are being sodomized. What are we doing about it? So we are trying and talk to involve the community, especially working with the CHV, so that we can see these cases are going down.
I like the fact that you mentioned about the medical camp. And you talked about these cases, the triple threat happens at the age of maybe between 13, because you get a child. That is 13 years, because let me refer to that person as a child, because he or she is below 18 years.
It's true.
And that also brings us back to the child domestic work, right?
Yes.
But now I want to understand, when you're doing the medical camp, and there is this thing of identifying your status, you want to know how your status are. Is it really safe? Because I had a talk with someone else and told me below 15 years, it's difficult to tell that a child, or to break the news to that child, you're HIV positive, because that's a really big topic and it's heavy. I don't know how this child is going to take that kind of information. So how do you guys do it?
Yeah, Melody, it's really a challenge. I'll give you a scenario like a month ago, we had a boy. He was only not even 13 years, he was only 10 years old. The mother is negative, the father is negative, and the boy turns out to be positive. So we are like, how am I going to break this news to this boy? Because there's this medication. This kid has to be started the ARVs. How are you going to start it? How are you going to tell this boy? Now from now henceforth, this is the drug that you are going to take. So when it comes to this time, we'll always fast do, because now also the parents are in denial. Where did this boy get this HIV? At that age, we are negative, and the boy now is positive. Where did they contract the disease from? So when it comes to such a scenario, we'll first work with the boy, keep on giving the drugs, because the first thing is the medical attention. Then a time will come whereby we'll do the appearance. Then now the disclosure will be open. When we feel now this boy is ready to receive this, or this girl is ready to receive this news, because this is something that they always, because in school they are also educated about HIV. And you see the pictures of HIV, they feel like when they are shown, you see someone who is so muscle wasted, so they'll feel like, no, so I'm going to die the next day. So this is the picture that I'm going to get. So we'll work with this young girl or young boy until the mind is set. Now we are ready. Now when they turn 15 years, we have to do a disclosure. And we don't have to now to wait until that they turn 18. We'll have to explain to why are you taking these drugs. Why, especially those who are now going after 14 years, they go to boarding school. We'll now matron will be giving the drugs. They'll be asking, why am I taking these drugs? So it's good when they turn 15, we have to do a disclosure.
So we have to educate people and tell them disclosing such information is very difficult. But the best thing, you have to work with this person. You work with this person and get to disclose that information at the right time, at the right age.
It's true.
So now let us go to the part of the cases of the HIV. Is it the male or the female? Which one surpasses the other? Because definitely, in a large, dynamic way of telling people we are affected by the triple threat, we want to get to know, is it the males or the females?
Okay, sometimes you may find this month the girls are higher than the boys. Reasons being why? You find sometimes girls are more vulnerable than boys. For example, in our community, you'll find that the girl is being told, go and do this. You find now the girl has taken the child of her mother in that place. May I like giving scenarios because are the things that happen. Now, for example, around phase 3, we had a girl who was was it 12 years older or 13. So the mother was nowhere to be seen in that homestead. So now you see now even the domestic applies there. So you find this little girl with the siblings of 4. Now she becomes the mother, she becomes the father. She's the one who will find what this siblings will eat. Whereby the young one was only 4 years old. Out of that, because we had gone just to do our normal sensitization in the community. So then it was door to door. So when we came here, we found them sleeping in a small room, whereby it was so pathetic. It was so pathetic. So this girl, we had first she had the fear. How should I disclose to you? But after visiting the first time, you do that, you create rapport because you want her to open up. Only to find this girl, for one, she's been abused by the neighbor because the mom, she's nowhere to be seen. The only thing, the girl has to go to a M-Pesa shop just to borrow a phone so that she can remind her mom, Mom, we need to eat. Mom, now it's late at night, it's around 6 and we have nothing to cook. Now you see that's around 6 in the evening. The same time, 7, that's late at night. What will happen to this girl? Rape cases. Is this child going to get HIV? And then she can see we have nothing to feed in the house. So she's going to give in. So what we did, we had to rescue, just to avoid all that, we had to rescue the whole family, the 4 kids. Then later, we had to call the mother in. Before rescuing them, we had to call the mother in and find out why all this is happening. Only to find that the mother, she's a K-pop, that is she's a sex worker. So we told her, people in this place have been sex workers and they provide for their kids, but not leaving their kids alone to this extent. But we found that it's like she had other bitterness about the kids. And this came through after the separation of the father. So it's like now, you can now be left alone and maybe just find my own life. And now when it came in with the partner with the MSF, we had to rescue the kids, take them to a children's home, whereby to date they're in the children's home. The mother doesn't bother, nothing. So you can imagine a 4-year-old, what could have happened to her. But this only the firstborn, she was much affected. Both GBV, that is the domestic work, and the same time, HIV. Yeah. So you find that Melody, HIV, without sensitizing our community and telling them about, especially the young girls and the young parents, about the dangers, we endanger also our own kids. Leaving them, making them to be moms at the early age, thinking now they are mature, because most parents is what they are doing. You see, like, mom is there with the kibanda shop and the girl is in the house cooking. That's not her work. You are denying her rights, you know. Because now you are the one who should know, okay, I have family. So at a certain time, I should close my kibanda and go cater for my family. Despite the economic time you have to feed for them. Also, you have to know these are also kids and they need that time. I think that is a bit that the community has forgotten about. So, and that's why you find that HIV is becoming a high each day. And that's why I told you the young people who are born with HIV now, they're active in sex. And you feel that when they start their relation, do you think they'll get time to go to be tested? They'll just run to bed, even if it's just sleeping at the streets. Then after that, what will happen? And maybe this young boy or girl, maybe she's not yet she's in denial, not taking the ARVs well. Because you find them saying that, because they feel that their immunity is still strong, they feel that they are now cured. Little, they like, now we had these young girls who are in school. I had one who told me that since she's still strong, she don't see the sense of taking the drugs. So in these scenarios, what will happen? Are the virus not multiplying? So what happens to our young boys, young girls? So it's a challenge to us. As a health medical part and also the community, we have a lot to do to our young girls. And I feel going to our schools and talking to them and giving them about health talks to them about HIV, GBV, I think it can help us a lot.
Now that you mentioned about going to schools and talking about such topics, let me be specific on the health facility. As a clinical officer, do you do sex education?
So that one, we are doing it very well. As an hospital, we'll always organize that and go to schools and talk to them.
But not forgetting that in terms of the public schools that you have mentioned, we have these schools. I don't want to put it in such a way, but let me say there are schools in plots. There are so many. I sat down with some people last week and they tried to count in a specific area in Embakasi North. I don't know, there are 22 of them or something of the sort. That is in a specific area, in a certain ward. So you can imagine in each and every ward, we have different two schools.
It's true, it's true.
And as a health facility, you go to public schools. So you get that the private sector schools are left behind.
Yeah.
And at the end of it all, hizo zenye ziko huko ndani ndani, because most of the time you find the students all over with uniforms. I at times wonder, do they even go to school? Do they study? Because uniform is all over. Don't you think, like, as a government hospital, you're somehow forgetting other people?
Okay. Yeah, I know that has been a challenge, and we have never thought of going. But whenever, I think maybe when we are doing especially the vaccination about the IPV, that was being done, I think it's only when we catered now all schools around Embakasi North. But now, I feel now that's a wake-up call. We'll have to go to this interior to schools.
Please.
Let's talk about, to call them the interior ones. Those ones are the ones who in the plot.
Yeah,
I think that's the gap that we are missing. Because you have been targeting the big schools in Dandora. And also we are looking at the population. Because when we say we go like a school like Dandora Secondary, we'll get a big number of young boys and girls, and we'll talk to them. And whenever we go Melody, we get cases. The next day, we'll always get people. No, you see, there are those who are going to shy away, coming to talk to us. Then we always give them a chance to write their concerns. If you read them, you'll see we have a gap among our children. And this gap is between the parent and the child. Our parent has very little knowledge about sex education. Yeah, and they feel even not about, I know they have it, but they don't know how they are going to approach for our young girls and boys. I think that fear, they don't know how to start it. Because you'll find them others saying, like now there's a mother will say, the song that you are singing, the song that you are singing, I also sang it. So you sang it. Why don't you educate him or her to be better than you?
Yeah.
You sang it. Maybe you were going behind the bushes and such, or you are doing it in your own way. But now this is another generation. Whereby, why don't we call a spoon a spoon? Because now, I remember there's a story that was a young girl, she started a relationship. And then the mother warned her and told her, kindly, if now I can see now you are working with boys. So, ensure that they don't take you to bed. Ensure that they don't take you to bed.
Yeah.
Don't do sex on bed. Okay, she never said she never called it as sex, but she said don't sleep with them in the bed.
So to that child anywhere else.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. So what happened? They did it stunting, and out of that stunting, what happened? She got pregnant. So when she went to the mother, she asked her, what happened? I cautioned you not to sleep with boys. But mom, you never told me when me stunting is bad. So we had to stunt in a tree. So you see, that's the gap that we as parents we have. If it's educate them, and because we also have the experience, tell them what happened. If you do this and this is this what happens. And now you find some parents also, they are also rushing to do family planning to their girls. But are you doing family planning to HIV? So that's the gap that also we have also, despite after talking to the young boys and girls in schools, what about our parents? Because there is a time that we also requested was it I don't know, the Ushirika, we requested we meet with the parents and talk to them, but that has never happened. Yeah, because we saw the gap mostly is the parents, not the kids. And whenever we do psychosocial, and a kid is opening up, you'll always find we need to talk to the whole family. The kid is not the problem. The problem is
the
at home.
parents.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, that is so deep. I guess we should call a spade a spade.
Yes, true.
A spoon.
Yes, true.
At the same time, in as much as we are doing these programs in schools, how often do you do them? Because let me give you a scenario.
Yeah.
Whenever we are doing, let me put it like a pads drive.
Yeah.
so many organizations are doing it.
Yeah.
And we also thanked Maono Africa. They normally do that.
Yeah.
But for us, it's somehow different because we have to monitor these children, these girls, these boys. In as much as we're giving them that pad for that month, we are following it up. So for you, whenever you're going to do those talks, how do you follow up? Because once you give a talk, it doesn't mean like today they have gotten the information.
Yes.
I have the information in my books, in my bag now. I have it. I'm equipped.
Yeah.
Most of them, they will listen to this year and this year it's gone,
true.
right? So how often do you do?
Okay, Melody, I told you, whenever we go to school, we'll always give them pieces of papers and everything so that they write their concern. Oh, now that when you are writing your concern, you're told it is a genuine one. We'll do a follow-up on this kid, and we'll go to the school and talk to the guiding and counseling department and say we need this kid because we need to work with this child, and that's what we do. Okay, then after that, after we have gotten through working journey with that certain kid, then after that we'll go back to the school again and do another one, a general, not just mentioning that this is what we found in your school, because now that's a stigma, but we'll go talk, because out of that, this one girl who came up or this boy who came up, there are others among them who are affected. So we'll talk to them, we'll work with them. We don't just go once, we'll go either twice or thrice in a school. Yeah. And I've told you, like now things now is when the calendar starts coming back to normal. The other time last year it was so squeezed that now you could go and when you go there they tell you, no, next week we are doing our exam, next week we are doing this and that. So the calendar was so squeezed that we had no much time with the students. But now we are getting our free time. And even they are also calling us because we have already created a good rapport with the schools. Yeah. And whenever cases happen, they'll always call us. Kindly, I'm sending a kid. So what happens to our facility? We have a youth center whereby even if the kid will be afraid to just walk in, you can't just walk in because of shyness and say, I need to talk and so we have those numbers. When you come here, who are you meeting? So we'll always wait for them, and they'll always feel like now there's that comfort, there's that love, and that's free space that you are giving them, and they can open up and talk. Yeah.
I want us to wrap up now, but in as much as we're trying to make sure that no stone is left unturned for the Embakasi North, because it's so disturbing whenever you just stand somewhere and say, I am so and so from Embakasi North, and you're like, the guy's in triple threat. You guys, what are you doing in the community? For the medical camp, you said, for example, you did one in Dumping site. How soon is the health facility planning to visit other wards? Because I'm in for every ward to get like the sensitization so that you get the idea of bringing this thing. I know it might not end at once, but it will take some steps.
It's true.
For the cases to get lower and lower.
It's true. And I know all these cases, they can't go just finish at once. It's a process.
Yeah, true.
And this process has to be involved. It has to sensitize their community. So if next when planning such a medical camp, we'll see which area is much affected than the other, so that we can do the medical part there. That's always we also do. Why we chose the dumping site? Because who are there? Most people who are there in the dumping site. Young boys and girls.
For sure.
And that's why we chose at the dumping site. So in future, we'll see which other areas affected much, and we'll do a medical camp there. And mostly, we'll always cater whole departments, not about, and what we cater mostly is about the HIV, early pregnancy, the GBV sector, all that. We'll always have a stand on that, whereby we'll do psychosocial, do testing, and this time around, we'll now target about the ages, not just the whole generation, not the general population. like now the big people, because now because of that the stigma, my mom will see me, my neighbor will see me.
Yeah.
So we said we'll do for the young people, yeah, of which I know it is going to work out. The problem is that Melody is about even the, you know, the government, when you start planning something, it may take a while. So we'll always chip in with our partners so that they can support us in doing it. Because if you say now you are going it from the county to come and this county, no, you will always they go to the sub-county, tell them, MOH, this is what we want. MOH is okay, yeah, this is a good idea, we are going to push it, but it can take ages before it is being declared, now go do it. Because the government doesn't give finances on how to do this medical part, medical camps. We have to cater in the partners. Yeah.
So it's I have a very sensitive kind of question.
It's okay.
But I'm also somehow online mostly, and online is very crazy.
Yes.
Information is out there, and according to, I guess it's this week, people are talking about condomizing. Do you think like the young ones or the young youths really come for the protection? Because HIV is out here. We can't lie to one another like HIV is not here. It's out here. But then again, as a way of minimizing it, they have to come for those protection. Do they really come for the protection? Not that I'm for them having sex, but at the same time, we want them to protect themselves.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, Melody is true. They come for it. And I'm the advocate of giving condoms.
Wow. Okay.
So whenever you come to my office and ask me, I need condoms, I'll always ask you, what are they for? Okay, I know it's a silly question. Yeah, it's a silly question. And then someone like who is, then I'll explain to them why this question I'm asking. Apart from using the condoms, if you are really active in sex, use PrEP. We'll always also educate about using the PrEP. So, because you may use alone the condoms, what if you get a client that, especially, and I know there are young girls and young boys who have engaged themselves with female sex workers, MSF, they are there. How are you preventing yourself? So out of that, we'll get a talk and say, yeah, I'm going to give you condoms, but tell me, why are you taking them? What are they for? Are you going to sell them? Are you going to use them for yourself? How many girls are you going to use this? How many girls are you going to use? If I give you 3 pieces, they'll tell you, I know this is 3 shots, and this is enough for you. You cannot go more than 3 shots. So, kindly tell me, what are they for? So that I can also know how many am I going to give you. So out of this, we'll always create a room and talk, and they'll open up. Then I'll say, no, instead of having, okay, yeah, taking the condoms is okay and protecting yourself, but kindly, because you are very active and having so many partners, kindly use PrEP also.
That's a very good information that people ignore. People don't talk about it. And I had to take that opportunity because you are a clinical officer, and I know you people give those condom stuff so that people get to protect themselves. And it has been traumatizing me because you get the statistics. I don't know where people get the statistics, and they're all over, you see. But now, as we wrap up, I want you to answer this question in 10%, out of 10, sorry, how can you rate Dandora 41 in Embakasi North in terms of help, facility, and the community, out of 10%, out of 10?
I'll give it a 9. I'll not give it a 10 because we cannot be 100%, but I'll give it a 9. 1, every morning I told you we have to do health education. Every end of the month, we have to have meetings with the CHVs. We have a youth center whereby young boys and young girls between the age of 9 to 24, they visit the facility. So everything is catered for. And our staffs are so friendly. It's not like before people could say hospitali ya kanjo utaenda utusiwe. No. I know those days when young old people, you could go to the facility, then you are like, who am I going to see? Nowadays, everything is friendly. And also, when you get in, if it is in the lab, you'll get a young girl, you'll get a young boy, and then you'll feel comfortable. I'm having some hitch part in my private part. Where do I go? So, and that's why I'm rated 9. Yes.
We are glad. We thank God for that.
Yeah.
At least you're doing something as a community. So, out of 10 also, as Carol, rate yourself as a clinic officer.
I'll give it a 8. I'll not say, I'll give it a 8. Melody, I think when you come to the facility, in the department that I am, I think, okay, I stand for the youth-friendly services. And that's why I'm rating myself 8, because I'm so friendly to everyone. Both the staffs, the community, and everyone. And that's why I've told you, I also do the provision of condoms. And that's why you'll always find young girls and young boys in my office. And especially when they come as a team. Like now, there was a time that we had around, they came 10 girls. You see the peer pressure. Hey, let's go to be tested. So I found them queuing at the HIV stand. So I asked them, nyi wote mnataka kutestiwa? Then they shouted at me. Nikamwambia hebu kujeni nyi wote. So we went to my office. Since then, out of the 10 girls, 5 of them always called me my mom. Then they are saying, I wish you could be my mom. Yeah, you are telling us things that we have never been taught to by our mom, by our teachers. So that's what I'm saying. I rate myself 8 because I give the best. And I always want, whenever I wake up, I always have the passion of my work. Because I don't want to go back home feeling that I've not assisted anyone. And especially when now, even when it's not about the health, anything. Like now, you see the young boy that I told you. That boy, I've not left him. I always work with him. I've not left him. Because I know that the stigma, the boy is having so many questions. So soon we are going to do the disclosure. And the parents now, they are healed and they are ready to face. Only that now the parents were separated, but still out of that they are still not together. The 4 girls, the 4 kids that we took them to twins children's home that is in Utawala. We always do a follow-ups. They always call me, come and visit us. So I'll always tell the big girl, worry not, whether mom is coming to see you or not, you have your future. Now you have a stepping stone here. You are going to school each day. Hakuna siku nakosa kwenda shule. Now look at your future. But the worst thing is that now when 13 years, she had to go back to class 4.
Oh, she missed school.
Because she was not going. The domestic issue, she was the mother, she was the father, you see. So it's high. If we walk around Melody, hata tuende tugonge tu nyumba milango 2-3 hapa, you'll find kids who have not gone to school because they have to take care of their young ones. Or simply because mom never came back home. So hatujaenda shule, hatuna uniform safi, mwalimu atatuchapa. So domestic
the child domestic
is very high. It's very high.
And it's sad.
It's very sad. Very.
So, wow. Let me say this segment was awesome. I was looking forward to talk to a clinical officer and get the clear picture of this whole triple threat. And I'm glad because we have that session and we have the information. Now can you imagine all the guests that we have here at Maono, Africa, trying to pass the information, and at the same time, that's why I'm saying, whenever you get to our podcast and you get to watch these conversations, don't forget to preview the previous one watch so that you get to carry on to the next episode. You get to follow the conversation too. And also do not stay with the information. As you can see for us, I would have looked for you and get to know the information by myself, right? But we are here trying to make everyone understand what is happening to our community by bringing it up and also sending it to the social media so that you get the clear picture of what triple threat is. HIV is outside here. There was this thing that watu wanapima na macho. Tafadhali usipime na macho, usione tu mtu tu anako anakaa fiti, like the physical features and everything. Where go get tested.
True.
Get to know your HIV status and get to learn about it because it's out here.
It's true.
But
and it is with us.
And it is with us. We can't chase it away. It's among us.
It's true.
So in our community, this is what I would like to say. When you get such information, try and share it. Don't forget to click our notification button and share our information. Don't also forget to comment. Refer people to us so that we get more information. And as I said earlier, the last segment that we have now is the last segment of the youths. We'll be having youths, we get to the information from them, like, and yeah, what happens to us. You see, because we have you guys as our mentors, right? But we have to also get to know what really happens to our youths in the community, right? So I'm glad because we have been able to have this segment of this podcast. My name is Melody Wanjiro, and I'm happy to be moderating this or to be hosting this. This information is so like, I'm educated now, I can pass the information to someone else. So till next time, kwaheri.
Okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome.